What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video. And today it is my birthday. You have to give thanks on a day like this, and I'm here on the beautiful Miami Beach in America. What a place to spend your birthday. And we're going to do a video today down here talking transfers. I could have done it in the hotel room, but what a setting. If I'm squinting, apologies people, the sun is absolutely beating down and I've left my sunglasses in the room. First of all, you know, we have to give thanks always, people, and I want to say a big thank you to you guys, the community, for supporting the channel, for rocking with me from day one, you know, for getting in the comments. We have good solid football debate. It's an open community. You know, I say it as it is. Not everyone agrees, but that's the beauty of the channel. We want it to be a community where everyone can speak freely, as long as it's respectful, of course. And I'm sure we'll debate next season as well and beyond. So big thank you to everyone in the community for supporting the channel. We're going to upgrade things this year, better content, better guests, all that sorts of things. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone in the community. And yes, I'm rocking the new Arsenal training merch. You know what it is? I get in a zone where I'm like, I'm not buying anything. I'm vexed. We didn't win the league. The Kroenkes aren't buying enough players. But then you go on holiday and you think, I want to wear a new Arsenal top on holiday, man. So yeah, I am rocking the new training kit. It is very nice. So yeah, listen, I've done my bit if they're going to buy Osimhen or Gyokeres or someone. But we'll probably just keep Kai Havertz up front now in Arsenal. Anyway, let's talk transfers. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be celebrating in Miami tonight, people. Birthday settings. But anyway, let's talk Arsenal. Arsenal being linked with Swedish international striker Victor Gyokeres. You was probably thinking there, am I going to say Isak or Gyokeres? It is Victor Gyokeres, the Sporting Lisbon striker. Now, we know all about him, you know, the famous celebration and this, that, the other. Now, there is a source coming out of Portugal, we've probably seen it for the last couple of days, saying that a deal is close to being completed. His release clause is £85 million, which is close to 100 million euros. Arsenal trying to negotiate a deal where they pay around £65 million now, with £25 million in add-ons, which would lead to a total of £90 million. So we're not going to pay as much up front, but Sporting Lisbon would get more money overall if they were prepared to wait out for the deal. Add-ons due to how many goals, do we win trophies, so on and so forth. Do you think this deal makes sense? And will he want to take the deal? His agent has come out and spoken and said, look, a lot of clubs are interested in him. With his manager, Ruben Amorim, deciding to stay, obviously he was linked with Liverpool and West Ham. Does that change things? He said all options are available. So Gyokeres could stay, he could leave. If he leaves, where does he go to? I think it all depends on who pays that release clause. And listen, I'm sure he would go to Arsenal. He's played in England before. He was in the Championship with Coventry, scored a lot of goals in the Championship. I'm sure the opportunity to come back to England, play in the Premier League for Arsenal would appeal to him. We are in the Champions League. And listen, I always say the Championship is a good barometer of players. It's an extremely difficult league to play in, very physical. Scored 24 goals at Coventry, got the move to Portugal, 34 goals in all competition last season. I think some people are a little bit wary of the Portuguese league because we've seen players like, you know, Darwin Núñez scored a lot of goals in Portugal, came to the Premier League and he can't hit a barn door at the moment. So you never know, but the striker list is getting smaller and smaller. Are we going to sign Isak? No, it doesn't look anywhere near realistic for this summer. It should be maybe, but it's not. That's just the reality. Victor Osimhen, it looks like we like the player, but we're not prepared to pay anywhere near the release clause. And I just don't see why Napoli would accept less. He's 25, he's highly rated. All he has to do is have another good season and clubs will pay that release clause. So Napoli may wait a year before they decide to negotiate with anybody. Ivan Toney, a player that I very much like. A lot of reports coming out that Arsenal don't have him on their radar. There's rumours that Tottenham have made an offer for him. This story going around that Arsenal met him and didn't like his personality. How true that is, I don't know. But he doesn't look to be on the list. Sesko, we were linked with, he signed a new deal. Dovbyk, you know, there's a cheap release clause. Surely we could have just signed him. Xerxes there, I'm not convinced with him. So as much as there's a lot of options and a lot of people are saying, I don't want him, I don't want him, it may get to a point where we've got to take one of these guys who is maybe second or third on your list. Because to me, and I don't like judging players off individual games, Havertz the last couple games for Germany has just not looked it. He really hasn't. I think he finished the season very well at Arsenal. Went on a good run of form. I just don't think he's clinical enough in front of goal. I don't think he is that player. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, Liverpool with Firmino, he wasn't an ice-cold finisher. He didn't score 20-odd goals. But they scored 20 goals with Mane. They scored 20 goals with Salah. Martinelli and Saka at the moment are not at that level. So, to me, we do need the striker that can score 20 goals a season if we're going to overtake Man City. Haaland was injured for 8 weeks and scored 27 league goals. He scored 36 league goals the year before. These are the levels that we have to aspire to get to. So, listen, Victor Gyokeres for me, I've said before he wouldn't be top of my list, but I would like to see somebody like that come into the football club, plays the width for the 18-yard box, has pace, knows where the back of the net is. Arsenal have to make a move in this transfer window when it comes to the striker position. Let me know what you guys think. Would you take Victor Gyokeres? Would you like that celebration at the Emirates, people? That's the question. Let's talk beyond that. Joshua Kimmich, another player being linked with Arsenal today. Now, at the back end of last season, he was being linked quite heavily with a move to Arsenal. Manchester City also interested. Surprise, surprise. Pep Guardiola, of course, managed him at Bayern Munich. A lot of the reports were Kimmich had fallen out with Thomas Tuchel. Now that Tuchel had gone, he was likely to stay. Rumours surfacing today, Kimmich is still very much open-minded about leaving Bayern Munich. He would like a new challenge. Year left on his contract. Bayern would rather get some money for him than allow the contract to run down. Alphonso Davies has a year left on the contract as well. They don't want to be in a situation where Davies and Kimmich left on a free transfer next summer. Remember, they've paid big money for Harry Kane last summer. You know, they've got a new manager in Vincent Kompany. He's being linked with players as well. They're on the verge of signing Michael Elise. So they want to recoup some money. Stories that they would let Kimmich go for around £42 million, which is around 50 million euros. 28 years of age. He does earn £250,000 a week. So big wages. What do you guys think about Kimmich? I think he's a fantastic player. Spent a lot of time at right back, but in centre midfield, he's dynamic, he's quality. Imagine Kimmich and Declan Rice double pivot. I think we do need some experience, some trophy winners. I know a lot of people now, you go, oh, he's 28. They go, oh, we can't buy him. There's no resale value. I'm not interested in that. Yeah, we don't want a Casemiro at 30 where he looks knackered after 1 year. But we need to stop looking at 28-year-olds as if, oh, you're finished and washed up. And to be honest, sell-on value is irrelevant if that player comes in and helps you win major trophies. That is them paying off, you know, the price tag. £42 million for a player like Joshua Kimmich. Multiple titles, you know, Champions League winner and so on and so forth. Can play right back, can invert, can play defensive midfield. Somebody like that for me is a no-brainer. Kimmich and Rice, double pivot, would be outstanding. So for me, the fact he's 28, no problem. The fact he's on big wages, no problem. Top players are on big wages. Kimmich is fantastic. He had a great game against Arsenal in the second leg and scored the goal that actually knocked us out of the competition. So Kimmich for me would be an absolute no-brainer. Also, let me know what you guys think in the comments about Kimmich. Let's talk about Eddie Nketiah. Yes, as you know, I speak about Eddie quite a lot on this channel. Being linked today with a move to Brentford. Now, Brentford obviously must be concerned that Ivan Toney's going to go this summer. Year left on his deal. No plans to sign a new contract. Although there are stories going around today that if they don't get the amount of money they want for him, Brentford might keep him for a year and just let him go for free. Big risk. You know my thoughts. I would take Ivan Toney. And in fact, this interest from Brentford in Eddie Nketiah, I mean, why do you not go to Brentford and say, we value Eddie at 25 million perhaps. They apparently want 55 million for Ivan Toney. Why do you not give them 30 million plus Eddie Nketiah and get Ivan Toney? It's an absolute bargain. You get rid of a player on 100 grand a week who's surplus to requirements. You bring in a natural goal scorer. You chuck 30 million quid on top. You haven't spent a lot of money. You've got a lot of money left to go and buy a midfielder or whatever else. Maybe it makes too much sense that Arsenal won't do it, people. I know everyone in the comments doesn't rate Ivan Toney, so I understand if you don't agree. That surely would make sense. They're interested in Eddie Nketiah. The story does say that they want a new striker regardless of the situation with Ivan Toney. They need more options. They need to score more goals. They're interested and were interested in him before he signed that new contract. Arsenal apparently value Eddie Nketiah at 30 to 35 million, similar to what they got for Balogun. He was 35 million plus 5 million in add-ons, and Arsenal are looking for that. Will they get that for him? They should. He's played for England, he's 24, he plays for Arsenal, but the way we do business, we'll probably get a Tesco meal deal, a sandwich, a packet of crisps, and a Lucozade Sport. You know, we're not great at selling players, I think, to say the least. So what do you guys think regarding Eddie Nketiah and a potential move? And just finally another striker, Joshua Zirkzee, who apparently is close to joining Manchester United. Story in ESPN today saying that Arsenal are still in the running and have apparently spoken to his agent. He has a release clause of £33 million, played for Bologna last year, 11 goals, Dutch international. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I watch Bologna every weekend. No, I don't. No, I don't. I've watched his highlights. I saw one game of him by accident because I was watching the other team and he happened to be playing. Listen, he's big. He's 6'4". He's quite mobile for a big guy. I'm not convinced he's a level raiser. Man United like him. Dutch player. Ten Hag obviously knows him. 33 million. I might sound snobby here, but I think we need someone better. He doesn't have any prolific seasons behind him. He maybe matches the profile because he's young, he's on small wages. And my concern is that Arsenal are going to keep Havertz as number one, and they want a younger striker who wouldn't mind being rotated. I think that's why they went for Sesko. He wasn't even willing to take them circumstances. So maybe they're looking at Zirkzee. Do you rate Zirkzee? You guys might have watched him more than me. I'm not convinced by him, but let me know in the comments. Listen, I'm going to go and enjoy my birthday. There's a pina colada with my name on it, people. And I'm here, Miami Beach, and loving life. I want to say a big thank you to everyone for supporting the channel. Absolute legends. Make sure you keep subscribing, like the video, get your comments in. I'll be back at the end of this week, so there'll be no live content. Unfortunately, I'll get these videos out and we'll be back for the knockout stage in the Euros. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much. I'm going to enjoy my birthday. Bless up, people.